Fortunately, there's something you can do to ease the pain and to help us with a bit of expert advice. We've got Dr. Zach Turner here to talk us through hangover cures. Zach, Happy New Year to you first.
Happy New Year. That's it. Thank you for having me.
Please educate us.
It's a tough topic. I haven't had a hangover in a long time because I follow these rules, which is great.
Bragging.
And yeah, I should have brought some of them along earlier. I've been using these all morning, so I mean, I'm feeling pretty great, really.
Well, I've kicked off today with a bacon and egg roll and a coffee.
One?
Two.
Two, maybe three. Hard to say.
All right.
It's a good start. It is a good start. Eating in the morning, really important. Eggs, especially important in the morning. They help to... here's some we prepared earlier.
I love it.
And,
that's the side angle of the egg.
It's the side angle,
Sorry
actually.
about
They're just cooked, so we could probably get into them later. But eggs help to settle your stomach down. Taurine does, and casein helps to reduce headaches, which is a great way to start the morning off because you wake up. They also will help to absorb the alcohol if you're still drunk from the night before, if you've had a really big night.
But what about, is the grease a factor? Like if if it's a fry-up, does that make it significantly worse than perhaps a poached or a boiled egg?
No. Doesn't.
Really?
Doesn't.
Oh,
before you eat, though, before you start drinking the day before, fat does help to slow the absorption of alcohol. So you absorb alcohol really quickly. As soon as you get it in, it absorbs fast. And so having a bit of fat beforehand is good, but try and make it non-deep fried because you actually absorb a lot of that really bad fats when you're hungover and when you're drinking as well. So try and stick to something that's a little bit easier. Some nuts. I mean, having fruits and vegetables beforehand is great, boosts those vitamins and nutrients, an apple, all those sorts of things. One of the interesting things is the morning after, people go to healthy teas and try and go to herbal teas, which have actually been found to be negative.
Right.
So the day after, you should be having, the only ones you should be having is ginger and lemons because they'll actually help you to process things a little bit more.
Does tea dehydrate you?
Tea will because it's high in caffeine, and people say jump on board with like coffee, and that's great if you're a regular coffee drinker because you can then get a coffee headache if you haven't had your coffee for the day. But coffee will certainly help. It's not going to sober you up though, so don't think that you can jump in a car just because you're feeling more alert and drive home because you've had your 6 cups of coffee. It hasn't sobered you up at all. It simply made you a little bit more alert, and it can dehydrate you more as well. So you have to have a lot more water.
What about things like Coca-Cola sports drinks, Barocca? Are they good?
Good if you pick the time to have them. So your Barocca and your things for multivitamins, have them the day before because that's when you can absorb them. But when you're out, a few basic rules are really good. So don't go from dark to light. Always go from light to dark. So if you're going to start with your drinks, go from white wine to red wine. Go from beer to red wine. Don't go swapping back and forth. Try and choose a colour. Stay with the colour, okay? And
this is all a little bit late for this kind of advice now, isn't it?
It is a bit late. And try and eat. Try and have some waters in between. Have some food during. Have a soda water.
Okay.
That's it.
Just asking for a friend. Hair of the dog. What do we think of this? Is it actually solving anything?
No, it is probably delaying things. So you then might be able to have your hangover whilst you sleep the following night, but then you have all the problems of being up all day. Again, it doesn't really help. Low carb, so some fizzy drinks, if they're not too fizzy, have been found to help, but high sugary drinks aren't great at all. So hair of the dog, it will mask the effects.
Right.
It will hide the effects.
Put the problem off until tomorrow.
Delaying the pain.
Why
are you pointing at me, Jay?
The second 2017. That's good.
What about? I see advertisements for different products that you can buy to cure your hangover. Are they for real or are they a little bit fake? Like
bit of both. Look, what I would suggest is over this time, and when people are boozing and around Christmas time, you generally probably don't look after yourself quite so well. Right. So just normal infections and things happen a little bit more easily. What I would suggest is go have a chat to your doctor. You can get some anti-nausea tablets, which you can keep at home. When we do house calls, you can get ridden off for a whole day with having gastro, and you can have some of these in your cupboard. They also work wonderfully well for hangovers.
And the other good tip is don't drink, and then you won't get a hangover.
Thanks.
Well, that didn't make any friends.
Jane has parties.
No friends.
Sergeant of the Fun Police.
Thank you, Dr. Zach. Thanks for joining us this morning. Good tips.